Rama had to abandon his wife, make her go through various tests. That was quite frustrating actually. And all this because of whom? Their destiny was influenced, but not by anybody else, but by their mother, Kai, stepmother. Namaste everyone. We're going to talk today about freedom of choice. I would like you to ponder over this statement that you are the experiment, you are the experimenter, and you are the outcome. How will you use your laboratory? What is your laboratory? Where is it? It's your heart. Heart is the experiment. In the heart, we conduct this experiment. What do we associate this word choice with? For most of us, it is a decision that we have to make between one option and another option. Or you may be in a frustrating situation where you have multiple options that's, calls on you to make a quick decision. In order to be able to do this, there is a notion that we need to be independent to be able to make an appropriate choice. Of course, but are you really independent in making such appropriate choices? We like to believe that I am free, or we are free, or independent to make that particular choice and come to a right decision. Look at another scenario. Not only are we more in trouble when we have to choose, but we are also distressed when we are trying to make a choice. And especially when the situation where we have to make a vital choice, we really get frustrated with all that. What if I make a wrong choice? For example, decision to marry someone, or starting a new business where you have multiple opportunities, or you have job offers. How will you make those choices? All these aspects of making choices are related to how does your heart feel. So let's think over the choices we have made in the past when we did not listen to our heart and the kind of choices we made. You'll be happy that yes, whenever I have used my heart, my results were good. Whenever I did not listen to my heart and acted impulsively, I had to regret. So the need to still our heart, make it calm, make it like a still pond, quiet pond, calm pond, on whose surface you can see subtlest of ripples. Our heart is also like that, see. If you have a turbulent heart, you won't be able to make a really worthwhile decision. Even when you are at the peak of a game and you're playing, for example, a basketball or a football, it's quite hectic. Mentally, you are very hectic. But if you have a meditative mind, despite of chaos, your inner will remain very poised. And when ego plays its part, you have seen this with your boss or with your spouse, perhaps at times, or some unknown person with a lot of arrogance. You can see unjust prevailing there, see. And you say, what sort of decisions are they making? Such wrong decisions are made under the spell of arrogance. Arrogance is again another face of egoism. Desires can tamper with our decision making. Decision making is very important, especially to know what is right, what is wrong, what is profitable, what is not so profitable. Which course of action should I take that can help me get out of this stress. These are all matters of the heart. More and more you'll pursue with logic, we will fail somehow. The future that I'm making will depend upon my action, my decisions that I make today, in the here and now. So destiny, just like what they call in genetics. Is genetics pakka, 100% rigid? No, I don't think so. Physically, to a large extent, genetics plays out. But there is still a factor, what we call epigenome, which is more flexible. It can be influenced. It can be trained. At a mental level, father may be a farmer, maybe a murderer perhaps. But you can change the freedom that you enjoy at a mental level. And spiritually, the DNA of sanskars may not have so much of force upon our destiny, because we also have this equivalent to epigenome, freedom of choice. You have a choice to act in certain way. You can deny certain decisions with respect, and you do not apply those things in the day-to-day life. The choices that you make again will influence the future. So we are, in a way, makers of our own destiny. So in order to make right decisions, I have to be above the influences of desires. I should be above this arrogance. Either you develop so much of sensitivity, and that is possible through right understanding. Classical example is, I often quote Rama and Sita, Mother Sita. Their astrological predictions were so good when Vishwamitra and sage Vasishtha, when they were consulted by Raja Dasarath, the future of Lord Rama and Mother Sita. They said they are the best couple. Nothing can go wrong in their life. Moreover, they being avatars, they didn't have any previous impressions or previous sanskaras or baggage. Yet anything or everything that can go wrong in their life went wrong. Right? They had to go to forest. Rama had to abandon his wife, make her go through various tests. That was quite frustrating actually. And all this because of whom? Their destiny was influenced, but not by anybody else, but by their mother, Kai, stepmother. She decided that her own son should become the king, and for 14 years, Ram should go to forest. It's alright that your son Bharat can become the king, but why send that poor fellow to forest? That is not understandable, but she took the advantage of the promise that was given by the king Dasarath, and their tradition was Prana jaye par vachan nahi jaye. All nonsense. Ramayana suffered because of this Prana jaye but vachan na jaye. See? Similar thing, Mahabharata. Bhishma, so proud of keeping up his promise of protecting Hastinapur. He could have protected with Pandavas, associating with Pandavas. He could have better protected it. But no. He was loyal to a throne, not to an individual. So when you do realize that the promise that I made is not in the right interest of everyone, then it is okay to break the promise. I have to make my heart so generous. I have to make my mind so full of understanding that I don't form the impressions. Most of the time, I form the impression because of misunderstanding. Someone says, someone jokes. I have to understand that it's just a joke. Don't take it to your heart. But some people say, oh no, वो तो मजाक ही करता रहता है, मेरी मस्करी करता है, making fun of me. So this creates impression about person. We misjudge a person afterwards. And if you have this forgiving attitude, you will not accumulate anything at all. Bad things may form impression, but even good things forms the impressions. It is easy to break away from the bad thing. How you gonna break away from good thing? Because it is so enchanting. Again, one by one, if you try to remove sanskars, it's going to be very difficult. But as Babuji says, you turn your head from here to here, or just with a snap of your finger, or as Lalaji says, with the blink of an eye, you can move from here to that. During that moment, that very special moment when you're making a quantum leap in your consciousness, what becomes of those sanskars, whether you have earned it or somebody else forced onto you? It is like this. Whether the only example that comes to my mind, how do you remove the darkness from your room? Do you remove little by little, 1 liter of darkness now, 2 liters later, 10 liters? No. You turn the switch on or take a mombatti or a candle, and that's it. All our practices are meant to bring about such light in our life. And this equivalent of light, comparable in our life, is awareness. Moment you become aware, darkness, sanskars, disappears. With right understanding, the burden of guilt also dissolves. That's why we often make this sankalpa that may all sisters and brothers throughout the world develop 3 things: correct thinking, right understanding, and honest approach to life. If I have correct thinking and right understanding, most of my problems will go away. Existing problem. And having honest approach to life, it is like vaccination. You will not form many bad tendencies because you are so honest in your approach to life. So these 3 sankalpas take care of past and present and future. So answering it briefly, increase the awareness through meditation, through cleaning, surrendering yourself little by little, or in one quantum jump.